We're a couple minutes from 8 o'clock. Or heck away. I know, 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 I know. Good boy. I know, I know. Thor was excited. Thor wants to be on here too.
Change of scenery
You
today.
might want to hold that before Thor bops it off the stand. I know, I know, I know, I know. Thor. Good boy. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I know. Yeah. Good boy.
So, change of scenery. We're on the couch today, not over by the computer. We're using Jeff's old S10 Plus for.
I think it might actually give a better picture.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it might. Now, this phone is not connected to. We have to use Wi-Fi for it, and it's
Nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that. We can't use it for our phone plan due to issue.
Different phone plan, different carrier.
Different carrier.
We are at 8 o'clock now.
Shut.
So,
Hi, good boy.
well, I can't watch my own stream, so. Setting this aside real quick, making sure my volumes and stuff are not loud.
Got to know. So we are. No.
This is not the time for the dot, Thor. No, not the time for the dot. It's live stream night.
So. Okay, time to share this everywhere.
I go, boy. Well, as soon as we start getting some people in here, we can start having a chat with everybody and. What? What? I know, Thor. You good boy. Anybody in there?
I don't see anybody.
Not yet, so. You stop. You stop. You were just outside, Thor. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Can you go get it? Can you get the ball? Go get it. I know. Go get it. What? Go get it. Go get the ball. Where's your ball? Go get it. I know. Oh, good boy. What? What? You could come here too, you know, Thor. Thor. Thor picks now to be whiny. Oh. Hi, good boy. Thor, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're 3 minutes in so far, and nobody up.
Share it to your Facebook.
Hey, is that you?
No.
We got one in here. Welcome, welcome. Friday Night Live. Just join us, just like last week. Ask us questions about anything. Just chat, whatever. Truck, dog, camera gear. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reveal what it was that I bought to help with audio in the live stream. You stop. Thor. What good boy? No. So, what do we want to talk about?
Well, in lifestyle news, we got a new couch.
Well, new.
No,
It's not really new.
no.
But, parents wanted to get rid of their couch. This one. Our couch was broken because this guy, come here. You come here. Because you were like the Zooms. You like the Zooms. You Zooms. We're going to move this a little bit. Put that right there. That one likes to zoom. 80-pound hurricane made of bricks. Likes to break stuff. Because use the couch as a springboard.
And
You stop. What? What? I might need to turn down something else. Not that. Notifications turn you down. What, Thor? You want the dot? Do you want the dot? I'm gonna have to grab the dot. Give me a
yeah,
sec.
yeah. So yeah, this was my in-laws' couch, and it has a metal back to it,
Well,
not
it's
wood.
not just that it's a metal back.
It also has a wider seat. It's got throw pillows. It even came with a runner. So this is the runner. And
That noise in the background is Thor getting the dot. Yeah. He's throwing paws.
should we show them?
Yeah, maybe later.
Yeah, there.
Get it. I don't know if anybody's in here because it's telling me 0.
It's probably me that was in here.
I mean, I did put out when we were going live.
I don't know. So,
Oh, we get people in here. I mean, we're 10 minutes into the stream and there's like nobody.
Yeah.
Come on, boy, get it. Thor, lick. Can you get it? Come on, Thor. Get it. Come on, look. Look. Come on. There's one.
Hi. Whoever's in here.
Just like the other night. Pretty much,
And went away. They pop in and they go
and you're back.
and they're back.
So, if you're just joining us, just like the other night, you know, talk about anything, dog, truck, camera gear, which, depending on how many people we get, I might have something to show off, help with the audio quality. What are you doing, Thor? You silly dog, you silly. I don't know. Not really anybody in here.
Like they pop in, and they pop out, and they pop in.
Right. Kind of hoping somebody would stay. You can actually. Thor. Come on. Alright, I think I should just reveal it. It's gonna go on YouTube anyway, and people can go back later and watch.
Yeah.
Might just have to skip ahead 13 minutes, but anyway, I've had some comments in the past about being unable to hear me, or I've even noticed inconsistent audio on my end here and there, where the volume of my voice changes depending on how I look at the camera or how the camera's pointed at me. Because with the Sennheiser mic, in fact, I could actually show you my setup. Live stream session?
Yeah.
I can show you my setup here, and it's the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 with the Sennheiser MKE 200 mic right here. This is a non-powered shotgun mic, and this picks up the best audio when it's directly pointed at, the source. So if I'm talking, it would be pointed at me like that, or pointed straight at the truck or anything like that.
Or, for example, when I'm being camera woman, I have to hold it like this.
Well, that's so you can keep everything in shot.
Get everything in shot, but also keep this in front of me. That way y'all can hear him. Or when we're turning it on me, when we flip it up. But I'm even more quiet than you.
Yeah. So this is my Insta360 Ace Pro 2. It's in the, I don't remember the name of it, but it's in a small rig cage. It's got a couple cold shoe mounts on there to mount microphone. And I got my mic adapter on the side here. And this is all mounted on a GoPro little mini bipod, tripod or whatever this thing is, using a GoPro mount. So it is compatible with GoPro stuff.
So one of the things that I can do
You have a mini selfie stick when you extend it, but it's not that long.
It's not that long.
Honestly, it needs to be a little bit longer because the base focal range on the Ace Pro 2 is like 36 centimeters.
See, it's also a little tripod.
So if I'm using this as a selfie stick, I kind of gotta come out a ways like that and hold it out a little. Otherwise, because of the focal range, it's still gonna be kind of blurred. But anyway, I've been recording all my audio on the Sennheiser mic, which, don't get me wrong, sounds really great. But unless it's pointed straight at me, it, the volume could change a little bit here and there. So we're going to set this aside, and I'm going to show what I got. It's in this little case here. So sticking with Insta360, I have the new, well, it's not really new. It's been out for a little while now. I think, 6 months now?
I think so.
But I picked up the Insta360 Mic Air little coin style microphone. It's really not all that big. What? And it's got the wind muff on it and everything. It attaches onto the mic with this little rubber ring. It's got a couple ways of mounting it. For example, I could take this little magnetic button here, put it in my shirt, and just take the mic and do that. Go on, Thor. I know, you go on, Thor. You go on. You do that, and it's there with the little magnetic button on the back. Or I could use the little
Oh, we got one!
magnetic clip, so I can clip it under my shirt like so, and bam, mic. I thought, you can't have the mic. No, you can't. So that's two ways I could mount this on my shirt. There's a third way that this mounts to my shirt, or just my person in general. And there's a lanyard, like such. I could wear it and then just magnetically attach the mic to the lanyard and just wear it. And of course, you can snug up this thing and tighten it up, loosen it up. I know, good boy.
So the one that I'm probably going to use if I'm using this is either the button or the lanyard, because
You'll probably looking at the back of the mic because you're holding it close to your face, and mic will pick up from behind, just not as clear. And the cool thing with the Ace Pro 2 with recent updates is I can do dual channel recording. So not only can I record off of the Sennheiser right on the camera itself, but it'll also record the channel coming off of the Mic Air. So dual channel audio, wireless, so doesn't matter exactly how far I am from the. Or stop. Doesn't matter how far I am away from the camera I am, will always pick up my voice quite well. No, Thor, you can't have it. Well, we got two in here. Just joining us. It's that Friday Night Live, and we're just kind of yakking, going over the new microphone I got for the channel to help with being able to hear me, because I've had some complaints in the past about not being able to hear me. We're doing pretty good. How about you? Thanks for stopping by. Just showing off the new mic for the channel. It's the Insta360 Mic Air. since we've had a few people complain in the past about not being able to hear me so well. Your mic, Bluetooth, straight to the camera, fix that problem right there.
Mhm.
What do you think? What? Oh. What do you think of the mic?
I mean, I tried we tried this on earlier. We got it about, I think, noon today.
It was like close to one.
Close noon, 1 o'clock. So we all tried it on. We both tried it on, and I'm either gonna go with, if I'm wearing it, wear either the magnet behind my shirt or the lanyard, because I tried the clip and it doesn't work well with my shirts. It just kind of droops downward.
Or I might pick up a second one for you. We'd both be mic'd up.
Yeah.
Since the Ace Pro 2 can do dual channel recording, should be great, because then you can isolate the voice and still get the environment sounds in there. And because they're separate, I can adjust the levels of one track over the other, so I can make my voice more pronounced or her voice, either one. So I can isolate my voice from the background noise, which would be great for audio quality on the channel and videos going forward. In fact, weather permitting, I actually do want to go out tomorrow and record a video with it. For what? Try to demonstrate it, use the internal mics on the Ace Pro 2, the Sennheiser, and we'll compare it with the new Mic Air, which I got straight from Insta360 for $70. It's like $49.99 plus tax and shipping, came up to like $70.
So
It was either that or the DJI Mic Mini, and quite honestly, the Mic Mini to me, to my ears, sounds a little tinny. I know. Get to that. You get to that. Yeah, the DJI Mic Mini was a little tinny. And I didn't want a ginormous mic either. Something like a, what was it? I can't remember the mic, but it's a DJI. It's like one of the more common ones, but it's like a big brick. And you kind of have to have the receiver too for it.
yeah. Is this the clip-on one?
No, that's the Mic Mini,
Oh.
which is roughly the same size as the Mic Air, but DJI. But I think Insta360's noise canceling, from all the videos I've seen on it, is actually a little bit better than the DJI's. It actually seems to try. Whereas the Mic Mini, when you put it on like the higher settings or whatever for the noise cancellation, it can sound a little robotic. It brings in like an element of this electronic sound to it. So you lose a little bit of the sound reproduction and quality. So that's why I went with the Mic Mini. And I know there's videos out there saying that the connection stability isn't all that great on the Mic Air, which is true if I'm like 30 meters out away from the camera and not facing the camera. Which, why would I be that far away, and why would I not be looking at the camera? No.
Yeah.
So I think for the ranges that I'm going to be using it in, and how I use it and how I record, we shouldn't have any issues with the Mic Air. So we're rolling into Thanksgiving. In fact, Black Friday is next Friday.
Yes.
So that might be an interesting live stream then too. We can talk about how everyone's Thanksgiving went.
Yeah. Also, chances are that live stream, you're gonna see the corner near our desk filled with a Christmas tree.
Now, we're going to live stream us putting the tree up, or what are we doing?
I was thinking Oh, slut.
Or should I break out the Ace Pro 2 and time lapses putting the tree up?
Maybe I should time lapse it. Then later on that night,
Do a live stream in front of it or something?
Yeah.
That might be a play.
so
Sometime that weekend anyway, right? Well, YouTube saying nobody's in here, so I know it's lied before because last week it said that and we had a handful of people in here. So if you're in here, just comment down below that you're still here. Oh yeah, I've been all over Z1's website for like pretty much every day looking. Jen will tell you.
yes, he is on that site pretty much every day, and he looks at it like I want it. It's like
I want it, but my see, my heart wants everything, but my wallet says no. Yeah, there's a number of stuff off of there that I would like to get like right now, but kind of not in a great spot at the moment. Because as you know, I had to get tires put on a truck earlier in the month, and well, that kind of ate up my truck money for the month.
also did you tell them what's going on with the rear diff?
No, I haven't.
Then you should tell them what's going on with the rear diff.
Well, the rear diff on my truck, it's not working, not because it is broken. It's not working because of a error on my part when I replaced the diff lock solenoid. Genius that is me didn't realize that in order to put the lock solenoid back in, the differential itself had to be out because the lock plate has to go behind the plunger on the solenoid. So, yeah.
So next month, that is where
So that's getting fixed properly.
properly.
So I'm not blaming the truck. I'm not blaming Nissan for that because that's something that I did just out of I don't know, not knowing. So, but what I can blame Nissan for, and I haven't officially brought this up, I was going to here on like a 25,000 mile update. It's nothing major, but I did have to have the cameras replaced in the mirrors. They just up and quit working. Which Nissan took care of it for me at no charge to me under warranty. I was like, well, that's cool. They were baffled by it because there's no TSBs for my model year. There's no recalls for my model year on cameras, and it's like, okay. So they did question me about how I had the wolf box wired in though, because I guess they were trying to rule out everything. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they ended up replacing both the cameras.
So everyone,
That'll be something I bring up on my 25,000 mile update for the truck, which we just crossed 22,000 miles yesterday.
exactly.
Mechanically speaking, other than the thing with the rear diff, that's my fault. The truck's been great. It's been running great. Transmission's been fine. No issues there. Yeah, you could play for it. Connection's breaking up a little bit. It might be.
So
I'm running on wireless right now, trying to see if I can get better picture quality. So I'm using my cell phone because if I take my camera here and try to run it like a webcam, I'm locked to like a low bit rate 1080p, something to do with the video card in the computer and OBS. I tried to hook it up and live stream directly to the YouTube app with the camera, but for some reason I can't access the camera through the YouTube app on the computer, which is horrible. Because I know I could get a much higher stream quality there. But, you know, having a lower spec computer and only a 3050 graphics card, kind of like the 1080 for certain things.
Yeah. As for, we can't upgrade the GPU, get the
Yeah,
graphics card.
Yeah, we can.
You can?
I can upgrade anything in the computer.
Cost effectively. Can
Um,
we?
yeah.
Cost effectively.
Yeah, since the 50 series NVIDIA graphics cards are out, the price on the 40 series should be coming down, and the price of the 30 series should be coming down. So if I can find something like a 3080 that's, you know, in good shape, or even old stock new, we can improve our production quality there as well. And maybe even improve our live stream quality, because internet wise, we have the capability all day long to do 4K at a high bit rate.
Yeah, we have a 1 gigabyte internet.
Yeah, but that's our internet runs at like 800 megabytes down and something like 50, 60 megabytes up, which is more than enough to do 4K streaming.
Exactly.
And that's 4K at a high bit rate at that. But I just haven't quite figured out how to get there, and if it's hardware related, it's graphics card. If it's not hardware related, then there's something else I gotta figure out. Maybe a better app other than OBS, or crack the code to connecting the Ace Pro 2 straight to YouTube. But I can say this, as far as the truck is concerned, definitely for sure next month, well, not next month, January, we're getting wheels.
Yeah. So.
That's going to be my birthday present for January, wheels.
Yeah. So.
How about you guys? What do you guys want to talk about?
Yes, it's a temperature gun. Yes, he knows what it is. And yes, he's trying to eat it. Remove the little red dot.
Going to test drive a Frontier Friday. What's the favorite thing in my truck so far?
Nope.
That's actually a good question. I would have to say probably one of the best things about the truck is the powertrain itself. It's got a nice big, responsive V6. There's no turbo lag to deal with. You know, you get into the throttle, it tips in nice. It's got good power, especially on a roll. If you get into the throttle on a roll, it moves pretty good. Off the line, I think the gearing kind of hurts it down low, because it's super aggressively geared in first gear. If I remember right, first gear is like a 542-1, so super short. But just the way the truck drives, it's really good. I've drove the other trucks. I drove my brother's Tacoma, and quite frankly, between, say, a third gen Tacoma, the Frontier is a better truck on road with driving dynamics. I'd say probably another thing I like about it is the looks. It's a good looking truck. Between that and, say, Colorado, like the Trail Boss, What was that?
He snorted.
What? So it's a good driving truck. It's got good looks to it. The audio, I have the Fender system in there, and I'm not super impressed with it. Yeah, I agree with that statement. It probably is the best looking midsize truck. Although to me, I think the 25s might be just kind of like a half a step backwards. I don't particularly care for all that plastic cladding they put on the nose. I get it. It looks good. Some people don't like it. And if you do, more power to you. Just me. I think they made the front end too busy when they added all that plastic. But that's just my opinion. Either way, though, plastic or not, it's still one of the best looking trucks in the segment. So you can't go wrong with either. All right, there. Go on. Go on. Go on. What's it? So Thor goes outside for a minute. The Fender system that I have, it's got bass, but the issue that I have with it is it doesn't have a lot of depth, if that makes sense. Like it's there, you know it's there, it'll rattle everything in the truck. I mean, you can feel things moving around, it'll blow your pant leg if you put your leg next to the door or whatever. It'll rattle everything in that truck pretty good. It's just with two little fives underneath that back seat, there's not really a lot of depth to it, if that makes sense. And I've recently discovered through Z1 that the factory amplifier itself will actually pull some of that bass as you go up in volume. So the bass you get at lower volumes is reduced at high volumes. So that's why I'm excited to eventually get the upgrade system from Z1. They pieced together a whole new package and everything. I'm gonna be happy to get that in down the road, but that'll be probably after I do suspension. Like my main gripes with the audio, you can't adjust the mid range. You can only do highs and bass, and then in your bass settings, you can't adjust the subwoofer separately of your door speakers. It's all tied together. Why Panasonic decided to go that route, I don't know. The bass system in the Frontier, you can adjust your mid separately. There's a bass enhancement setting. There's no subwoofer in the bass system, but I don't know. There's things there that you can enhance the bass with. It's not a terrible system, don't get me wrong. I've had far worse, but I've also had better. I'm actually waiting on Z1 to release their X Pro shock package next month. Talking to Justin over there at Z1, they've got about 1,200 shocks that they just got in and they got a QC. And he says they're getting ready to launch them in December. He didn't give me an exact date or time frame, just December they should be launching their X Pro. That's the front coilover, which is just shy of 2.5 inches, like 2.44 inch shock body with a 56 millimeter piston. That's good for two. That'd be good for 2 to 4 inches of lift there, and Justin did confirm that they will have a matching rear shock to go with that front, though it's not showing up on their website yet. The front coilover is there, but the back shock hasn't been shown yet, but it's been confirmed that there will be a front and rear matching package. So that's what I'm waiting on. As far as rear lift goes, I've already got the Z1 shackle, which can do 7/10 of an inch to 1.5 inches. I'm going to target 3 inches, so I'm going to put in the higher 1.5 inch setting on the shackle. And I'm going to pair it with a 1.5 inch lift spring medium duty from Z1. Hi, good boy. So combined the inch and a half spring and the inch and a half shackle should give me 3 in the rear. And then with the front shock going up 3 inches. And I'm probably going to do the Titan swap as well, just to have the extra wheel travel. Kind of trying to finalize everything. I was looking at Peak, looking at doing the Dobinsons. You know, I toyed with the Dobinsons first, and then I toyed with going with the MRR setup. Yes, I will be upsizing to a 285 7017. Likely the same tires, sticking with the General Grabbers. What, Thor?
I hid the thing.
You hid the thing and now he's looking for it.
Uh-huh.
You can't have it, Thor, no. When I go to the 285s, I am going to go to an E-load. Get the LT metric tire, because the difference between the SL load and an LT E-load is you do get a little bit more tread depth and you get a little bit thicker sidewall on it. So the standard load tire, it's 14/32 of tread new. The LTs bumped that up to 16/32, so a direct 1/2 inch of tread.
Thor, what are you doing? Come here.
What? What? What is that? So yeah, that's suspension. I'm very much likely to be going with the X Pros. I'm going to be going to a 33. Thor, stop. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. What? Yes, I saw the Pro 4 XR. I actually did a video on it a couple of months ago. For a 2-inch setup, yeah, if you're targeting a 2-inch setup and it's already out of the box built, then it's fine. However, personally, I can't swallow $6,100 for what's effectively a 2-inch lift. And I'm not knocking the Öhlins on there because I know they're a very well-known name and they make quality parts. But when the shocks are digressive piston like the stock Bilsteins are, they're a 2-inch shock like the Bilsteins are, and it's only 2 inches with tiny little reservoirs on them. I don't know. They have similar valving, same size shock. I mean, if you want 2 inches and don't want to drop a lot of money on it, ADO or Z1 sells a lift spring that will go right on the 4600 or even the 5100 and give you 2 inches there for $300. And because it's an actual spring and not a spacer, you actually can get away with not needing a control arm upgrade, because you're not moving the length of the shock and moving that point further down, so that when everything droops, you're not forcing it to have coil bucket contact. It's just simply a taller spring within its travel. But that's me. If I was going to go with a 2-inch and have a similarly set up shock, I would just throw a taller spring on the stock suspension and maybe a small block under the rear to give a little bit more height there. And the other thing that I'm kind of disappointed with, 2 things with the Pro 4 XR, is the tire choice that they picked for that is the Hankook Dyna Pro AT2 Extremes. I did a video comparing the factory AT2s with the Extremes, and there are they're a marginal upgrade over the standard AT2. You get slightly more tread depth, and you get a little bit nicer sidewall with solid white lettering, but it's the exact same tread pattern. It's like, you could have done better there, General. Or you could have done better there, Nissan, Roush, put a better tire on there. I do like the wheels. I will give it that. I like the wheels. I like the color scheming with that dark titanium finish that they paint everything in. The wheels are nice. I just wish I knew what the offset specs were on those. I think I remember reading that they're 30 off. Yeah, I would say the titanium gray is probably a better look than having white parts. I agree with you there. Like I said, if you want something that's already pre-built and already has the look you're going for, then it's a great thing. I'm actually I'm glad that Roush and Nissan collabed with it because it's another company throwing support into the platform. I just wish that it was more than what we got, given that Roush is throwing their name on it.
Exactly.
And
It's underwhelming.
well, it's kind of more of an insult, really. And I'm saying this as a former Roush tech myself. That I know what Roush is capable of, but yet all we get is a 2-inch lift and some cosmetic parts. So, as a former Roush tech, it's kind of a bit of an insult to me because I know what they're capable of. That's why, like, you go on all the videos of the ProFrex R, there's always somebody on there or multiple people like, but no supercharger, because that's what Roush is known for, is supercharged vehicles like trucks, Mustangs. I don't hate it, but I wish it lived up to Roush's name a little bit more.
Exactly.
Or at the very least, develop their own blower for it. Because like the Roush packages, those are Whipple superchargers. At least the newer Roush packages, like the 700, the FP or FR 700 pack, that's a Whipple.
Okay.
What?
What's a Whipple?
It's a brand. Whipple is a brand new supercharger.
Yeah, like explain it to me like I'm about this big.
No, you're right. The superchargers, they're not cheap. And I think if they added the supercharger onto there, it would have doubled the cost of the package itself. It would have went from like a $6,000 package to a $12,000 package easily.
Yeah.
Which at that point, you throw an extra 12 grand on top of a $43,000 truck. You could buy a decent loaded ZR2 for that, or maybe even get into an AT4X. And there you get gobs more of torque and a front locker. So maybe like a Roush catback, a tune, and an intake, and round it up to like an $8,000 package. I think that would have been fair. At least then you get some performance with it, a little bit different note to it. Yeah, that the Ford Performance tune on the Raptor puts it, I think, 455 and like 500 and it's like 510 pound-feet or something like that. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. But the tune is good for 50 horsepower on the Raptor, so 455. Which, putting that in the Frontier terms with the supercharger kit, The Z1 supercharger will put you on par with a Ranger Raptor, or just ahead of a Ranger Raptor without the tune. Because the base level 1 kit puts you 300 horsepower to the wheel, and that's give or take about where a stock Ranger Raptor puts down, about 300 wheel. But the Frontier is a hair lighter, so those are 60 in about 5.6, 5.7 seconds with 300 wheel. But the good thing with the Z1 kit is they're going to have power packages you could add on to that. So level 2 would get you the 350, and they haven't quite finalized level 3 and 4 are still being in development.
They're going higher than level 2.
Yeah, level 4 is they're projecting like 400 wheel, which, if my math is right, is a little over 500 at the crank.
Wow.
Probably like 525, 550, somewhere in there at the crank. And the VQ engine can absolutely take that all day long. I'm not sure about the VQ38 because it's kind of new and nobody's really pushed it as far as Z1 has. But if it's anything like the VQ37, I know a few guys pushing over 900 wheel on an open VQ. So VQs and VRs are starting to put up some big numbers now. Tuning is getting a lot more advanced to make them live up there. Now, transmission handling that, I don't know. I know the VR30 and the 9-speed and the Z has been in the 10s. The VQ38 is about 95% new over the VQ40. So, there's some similarities there, but the 38 actually has more in common with a VQ35HR and the VR30 than it does the 40DE. Like the valve train, the way the cams are set up, the way that it does the timing on those cams is similar to an HR, and it's got oil squirters in it like an HR and VHR does. But then there's stuff off of the VR30 that made its way to the 38, like the electronic cam timing on the intake side is similar to the VR30s. The direct injection system is fairly identical to the VR30, and it uses the IEM setup, which is your integrated exhaust manifolds like the VR30. And then the oil pump is similar to the one found in the GTR, to the VR38, where it's chain driven instead of being a direct drive off of the crank. They go to a chain, and it's a variable displacement pump. It's RPM dependent and all that, but this oil pump can literally change how much oil it flows at a given RPM. Very similar to the VR38. So it's probably more of a VQ VR hybrid than it would be a direct successor to the VQ40. So
Don't mind me, I'm just managing social media. Trying to get people in here.
in fact, the VQ38 even still has the tumble valve down in the lower intake manifold that's found on the VQ37. Something that's not really present on the 40. So the noise you're hearing in the background, that's Thor chewing on his ball or what's left of a ball.
It is keeping him occupied.
It is. He's a good boy. He just took a chunk out of the ball. What are you doing, good boy? So I know we've been slow on getting out there and doing adventures. Yep, Thor does that. If it squeaks, he has to get the squeaker out of it. It's just the way he is. But Thor's a little weirdo. He's got balls that he's had for like 4 years, still intact. And then he's got balls that
Okay, apparently
he'll
I
destroy
need
in 5 minutes.
apparently I need a bath.
Hi, good boy. Hi, good boy. Thor. Can you come here? Come here. Come here. Hi, good boy. Look. 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 Thor, look. You gotta look above the. You're a good boy. I was trying to get him to look up at the camera and he was looking down. What are you doing? Hmm? What are you doing? Hi, good boy. I know we've been slow on doing adventure type stuff and getting out there and showing everything, but I kind of want to hit the trails more when I get the truck more situated to how I want it. And it's not because like the trails are hard or anything like that. It's just you never know. There's trails up in the UP that I would like to do, but I would feel a lot more better about it with some extra clearance and more protection on the truck. Transmission oil pans are quite exposed on these trucks and they're only plastic. What, Thor? What? Like, there's a very interesting trail up in the UP that I would love to show people. It's a bit more on the rockier side. It's called Cliff Mine Trail.
What are you
out
doing?
towards the Keweenaw Peninsula. It's a little bit of a tight trail. It's rocky, but it takes you to an abandoned mine that you can explore.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yes. I will absolutely be getting skid plates. And I don't know if you've watched, but I've recently made a change to my EcoLink mid pipe to give it more clearance. So now it can clear the Z1 skid plate versus having the exhaust hang down below that rear cross member. But I have one more version of that planned, just to improve things a little bit, better angles on it and more clearance. I'm getting there with it. Hey, good boy. I did pick up a new spool of wire too, so maybe I'll do a video showing how to load that. That's part of the reason why I haven't put the J pipe on, is because I needed to get more welding wire. Is there anywhere that you wanted to go in the state? Traverse?
I want to go to the Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Oh, out to Silver Lake. You could do Silver Lake one of these days. Silver Lake wouldn't be a bad option. Although I think they're closed for winter.
Sleeping Bear Dunes aren't.
Well, it's still part of Silver Lake. I wouldn't want to go there anyway one time.
Too much snow?
Have you seen the hill you gotta climb up? It's like that steep of a hill in sand, it's soft sand. You throw snow on top of that?
We rolled down the hill.
You know it's like $3,000 to get rescued off of it, right? Like if you can't climb back up, they gotta rescue you by boat. Because the beach is like this steep, and it's like 300 yards or something like that of a climb.
They've actually closed it off to where people can't go on the steep portion anymore.
Oh,
They roped it off.
they took away the fun.
They took away the fun.
The DNR took away the fun
Yep, because it got too dangerous.
because people can't climb anymore.
But there's little bunny hills that I can attempt to climb and probably get halfway up and then fall down.
Bunny hills.
Bunny hills.
Bunny hills.
Yeah, they're about.
Luckily.
They're like more manageable, like that, but they're tall.
I'll get the winch. I'll put a winch on the truck and I'll pull you up.
Can't have trucks in the park. No, literally, there's a path, and you have to hike to it. You have to park in the parking lot.
It's like the DNR neuter in Drummond Island too. There was an obstacle I was really looking forward to doing out on Drummond Island, and then the DNR goes and puts I-75 right through the obstacle. Now a little Honda Civic can do it. They destroyed the hard part of the trail.
To make more money.
If you're watching, look up Marblehead Trail at Drummond Island. There was a series of steps, and the DNR destroyed the hardest part of that. Basically parked I-75 right through the obstacle and made it so that anything can get through there now.
Basically.
Took away my fun before I even had a chance to go have fun. And then there's other parts too that they done messed up.
Like you can't go out on the beach, etc.
It's Marblehead Trail up on Drummond Island, Michigan.
Yeah.
DNR last year just like destroyed the one good obstacle on that trail.
Also, up in the UP, out towards Cedarville, there is trails.
Oh yeah, there's hundreds of miles of like overland trail and everything up there that we would like to do. And of course, we'll bring everybody along with us.
But there's one thing I do want to do is in Cedarville, the place where we did Chapter Focus Week, they also have cabins that you can rent. And
It'd be a good start, base of operations start out of.
Yeah.
Hopefully by then I'll have more cameras too. We can get additional angles. I want to get a 360 cam up on the roof.
we're either gonna get the X4 or the X5.
I'd probably get the X5. I thought about the new X4 Air. It's got a lot of features of the X5. Until I found out that the X4 Air basically doesn't have any low light performance at all. Whereas the X4 and X5 do. And if I'm going to spend the money for a good 360 cam, I'm just going to go straight for the X5. Bigger sensor, better performance. Much improved audio on the X5. It's just a no-brainer. Oh, we've crossed an hour so far. I haven't seen Blue Moon on here yet. Have you? She chimed in?
I haven't seen it. Sure.
No, you said he would be here. Yeah, slowly we're getting everything together. I'm making that 25,000 mile update. I'm going to go over everything that's done on the truck just to kind of refresh everybody and bring some of the newer viewers up to speed.
No, just
Because, I'd say we've picked up another 30 or so subscribers in the past month. So a lot of people may not necessarily know what's on the truck. I mean, granted, it's not much right now. But just kind of brings everybody into the loop.
So.
speaking of suspension parts, one of the things I didn't like about All Dogs Off Road, their control arms, was that the pockets for the ball joints were always left open. They just came up with a cap that goes in there, a little 3D printed cap, so that you protect the ball joint, keep mud and dirt out of your ball joint. That just makes them even worth more now. And Z1 actually is coming out with a second version of their upper control arms. So you can get a control arm that has the standard OE style bushings, or you can get the Heim joints that they normally come with. Personally, I would do the OE bushings just for the better ride quality, because the truck still is my daily driver after all.
Now, if you were building this as like, I don't know why you would build a brand new truck to be an overlanding truck.
A lot of people do. A lot of people take a brand new truck and build it straight for a purpose.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
It does, because it's new. But at the same time, I get where you're coming from. No, I'm not intending on doing a full-blown overland build with bed racks and stuff. Hey, SEMA trucks. Yeah, you're not wrong there. A lot of SEMA trucks are built brand new or something like that, straight into something. But there's also a lot of people that buy a brand new truck and immediately throw a lift, tire, roof rack on them, and bumpers, skid plates, and go take them off road somewhere. Happens a lot.
I just don't know why you would spend $50,000 just to, you know, as your dad was gonna go back at.
Well, what if somebody has a red that they need to retire and they're replacing it with something new? And they still want to do all of the fun stuff. You're going to buy a new truck that has no problems, or buy a used truck and you don't quite know what you're getting. With the used truck, it's an unknown. You don't know if it's got any issues. So a lot of people buy a new truck that's factory fresh, then do all the stuff to it, and oftentimes have less issues versus buying a used truck with an unknown amount of miles on it, turn it into an overlander, and suddenly, because it's an older vehicle and we don't know how it was taken care of, now they're having issues. So in a way, it makes sense to do it with a new vehicle. But, you know, everyone's different and can do what they want, and some people may not be comfortable with taking a brand new truck and off-roading it. That truck's not exactly new anymore.
No.
22,000 miles on it.
No, it's
New used.
new used.
It's not factory fresh is what I'm getting at.
Well, at this point, drive it around for a little bit. Let it be a pavement princess while it's.
It's had 22,000 miles of being a pavement princess.
I know, but when it's worn in and everything is now starting to unshake itself, then throw it into trial. I don't see why you would put something that's still within its break-in period and take it off road.
You know, I mean, people probably don't go like 0 miles and build it off road right away. I'm sure somebody does, but I think most people drive around on it for a few thousand miles first. Like, I didn't even start really driving my truck harder until after the initial break-in. I mean, I got on it here and there, but nowhere near as often as I do now.
I know, it's To me, I'd rather have the initial shakedown period being where, if anything, like there was a factory defect or something like that, it would be somewhat still stock.
Right. In fact, I think this truck was the longest I've gone without throwing an exhaust system on something. I went 3 months without chopping the exhaust off. I must be getting old.
No, it took 3 months to be like, I'm getting nauseous. Part of the reason why he chopped the exhaust is there was a resonance that was in the exhaust that was making me nauseous in the truck.
Yeah, my Frontier was one of the few that didn't come with factory resonators on it, other than the one at the tailpipe. Which I don't know why Nissan is weird for this. Some Frontiers will have the pair of resonators before the muffler, and some won't have them at all. And mine didn't have the resonators before the muffler, so it's just muffler and that tiny little bottle with the tailpipe.
And it was creating a very weird resonance that actually made me nauseous.
Yes, mine is completely custom, and other than maybe a couple other people on YouTube that have mimicked my setup, there's not very many out there with an equal length exhaust. Certainly not with the vibrant combination.
No.
I think there's 2 others.
The setup definitely. I do not get nauseous in the truck.
No, the equal length setup actually did wonders with NVH and how the truck resonates inside the cab. There's almost no drone.
Almost.
And it produces a pretty clean sound even with no muffler on it. Just loud. So I think Nissan could have put an equal length exhaust on there and reaped all the benefits right out of the factory. Which, speaking of exhaust, I think ZM1 might be starting to show a little interest in it. I haven't been promised anything, but I did mention that I would be open to sending them a Y pipe once I get the design finalized. So when I do my final design, I'm going to be building 2 examples. One for me, one to go to Z1. Just throwing it out there. Make that information what you will.
If it's a collaborative effort and
if it's a collaborative effort, I want my royalties.
I know.
Even if it's like $50 per exhaust they sell. I want my cut off of that.
Yeah. Because you're the one. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to be honest. This is part of a business thing. You should patent it.
Well, how do you patent something that is, well, basic science and engineering, for one?
But it's your design. Patented design.
Yeah, I don't know about doing all that. I would rather people to be able to copy it for themselves. It's just piping. It's just piping that's welded together.
See, that's where I like. If I was ever to design something, I would patent it.
I mean, I've already talked people through the measurements and everything needed to build it themselves.
but it would give you legal protection. It's just, I don't know.
Well, if I collab with Z1, I would have my legal protection there. Because it'd be a joint collab. And because of that, I would have Z1's legal team behind it.
This is the different ways that we think. So,
Well, not only that, but if I have a question, I can ask Justin directly. Or Aaron. I got them on Facebook Messenger. Yeah. I got Justin Hong from Z1. Yeah, you see him a lot on their videos. Right there on Facebook. In fact, what I was talking about, them, when I mentioned earlier, the potential release for their X Pros, right here at Justin Hong, saying that they will have the rears to match, should be ready for launch in December. They're about to receive their shipment and need to go to QC. Yeah, they're very nice. At least what I've gathered in talking to them back and forth. Because at the end of the day, they're car guys.
it is. But, like I said, I'm.
Yeah. A little bit of insider information there about when they're releasing the X Pros.
So.
Now there is a couple other things that they're working on. I'm not gonna mention it yet. But there's things that I know that are coming down the pipe here soon. And I'm not gonna mention it because I don't want to.
We're not gonna get ahead of them.
No, I don't want to burn the bridge with Z1.
We're not gonna get ahead of them.
So we're about an hour 18 into this. Time flies.
Time flies. You're talking about trucks.
Okay, well we're talking about trucks. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. Connor. Is he based in the U.S.?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Connor, are you based in the U.S.?
I know I do see him in my comment section often enough, which we do appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Helps the algorithm, shows the engagement, helps the channel grow, so we appreciate you commenting.
Yeah.
Same with everybody else that might be watching and commenting. Appreciate everybody.
Yes.
The engagement, whether it's good or bad, tells the algorithm that, hey, this content's getting engagement there. Let's push it more, and as it pushes the video and content more, it spreads, more people see it. What? Did you get your waters? Did you get the waters?
But for anybody who is based in the U.S., what are your plans for Thanksgiving? And
Why does it have to be the U.S.?
the U.S. is Thanksgiving is generally an American holiday. Over in Europe, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and
Yeah, they do. What are you talking about? They do. Maybe not in the same way, but they do.
it's not on account. By what my friends over in England and over in Europe they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Especially over in mainland Europe, they tend to celebrate St. Nicholas Day and Christmas. There isn't really anything in November that they have. So, so for our European friends, for the holiday season, what are your plans for St. Nicholas Day or and I know up in Canada, y'all were last month for Thanksgiving.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by. You have a good night. We hope to see you maybe next week, because we might be doing this again next week. Kind of trial this out and see how things go. So as far as live streams are concerned, Friday nights at 8 o'clock is live stream night unless something changes. So appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you guys.
But yeah, for friends in the US, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Or if you're a service member that lives overseas, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? And for our European friends, what are your plans for the holidays? Either for St. Nicholas Day or for Christmas. I know there's or any of the holidays that are in the month of December.
What? You call me what?
So I know generally people tend to lean towards Christmas. So
What you looking at? Huh? What? 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 Alright, so what do you want to do? We're about an hour and 22 in. I think Thor wants us to stop.
I think Thor wants us to stop too.
What? Alright, well, appreciate everybody that stopped by to chat with us for a little while, even if it wasn't really on too much. And this has been a Frontier Michigan live stream, so stay safe out there, stay warm, it's getting colder. We'll see you guys later.